the only thing that matters is winning a gold medal. And so there's a beauty to it, a purity to it, and I think our guys are really embracing that. And then it's our job as a staff to make sure we're keeping everybody engaged and ready because, again, we're going to need all 12 guys. It's just the way this tournament and FIBA tournaments work, we need everybody.
Engaged could be a synonym for happy here, keeping all of these guys happy. Chiney, you've played on national teams before, teams that have so much talent. How important is it now that we expect to see Jayson Tatum in this next game to keep him and all 12 guys happy here?
It's very important.
Okay.
This was a beast of Steve Kerr's creation because we all know Jayson Tatum is comparable to a Derek White or even a Drew Holiday when it comes to talent. We just saw it on the greatest of stages. And so for this situation to be something he had some control in, you could have thrown him a couple minutes here or there, but he chose not to. He chose to communicate that we don't think you're a fit per se in this one game. And it wasn't just a game in the middle of a tournament when people are tired and you're going to rest some guys at certain points. This was game one of the Olympic tournament. That is a tough pill to swallow if you're Jayson Tatum. But I do think that moving forward, there was going to be some intentionality to make sure he feels good. And I also think the question was, we've got 10 guys. You can really only play 10 guys at this level. But games do balloon, to 10-point leads, 20-point leads. Yeah. You can mix other guys in to see if they can fit that mold for the future. That's where the opportunity was lost. But there are more opportunities with games for Tatum to really show him what he's got. He's going to be motivated.
So here's what Steve Kerr did. He went to Jayson Tatum before the game and said, I don't think you're going to get in. He was prepared before the game, from what I understand, and said, I don't think you're playing. Now, that was not messaged publicly. That was not sent out through Brian Windhorst or any of the other reporters that are there. But that is what you do for an NBA superstar so they are not caught completely off guard. But I think it's also important, it wasn't that much before the game, right? It was before the game. And so he's now come out and said he will play him in the next game. He's going to play in the next game. I wouldn't be surprised if he even started him as a makeup. Hey,
really?
We feel bad.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Jayson Tatum.
Would not be surprised at all.
When I was watching this game, and we all know the group chat, we're like, oh, is he okay? Jayson Tatum, all that type of stuff.
I thought he was sick or something.
That's the thing. You could see in his body language that something wasn't right. He was sitting on the bench. He kind of was moving around. You could tell something was
trying to be a pro.
Right.
I know I'm on camera.
Exactly. And he did exactly, but that's what did not
even
sit
warm
well.
up coming out of the second half. Really just kind of went straight to his role.
I know that Jayson Tatum sitting overshadows a lot of things. I actually, and Celtics fans probably don't agree with me, I think Steve Kerr did a terrific job on Sunday here. The ability to mix and match this roster. Joel Embiid struggled. He pulled him. Anthony Davis comes into the game here. The ability to put Bam Adebayo in. Anthony Edwards here. I think this is the hardest job of anything here. When you're looking at Jayson Tatum was first team All-NBA. Yeah. That means he's one of the top 5 players in the NBA here. To sit him, certainly we can talk about communication level here, but I thought Steve Kerr overall, I thought he did a good job, and I know the Tatum situation certainly overshadows a lot of things.
Well, and keep in mind, this is impossible. We're talking about 40 minutes here, a 40-minute game where you're trying to get your rotations right and make sure that everyone gets in and everyone gets happy. And Bobby, Kevin Durant, he thrived in a 6th-man role here against Serbia, but you have to imagine it's going to be hard to keep him out of the starting lineup here moving forward. So I ask you, Ramona floated the possibility of even Jayson Tatum starting here against South Sudan. Who should start? And in turn, who should sit?
It's the same starting 5. Certainly, I think it's Drew Holiday and Devin Booker, and it's Joel Embiid certainly at the 5, and Steph Curry and LeBron James. For me, it doesn't matter who starts; it's about who finishes and who's playing the best here. And I think certainly, if you can make an argument, Anthony Davis should probably start at the 5.
Can we pull that graphic back up just for a minute? That had everybody's minutes that were being played as well as you continue, because you said maybe looking at Anthony Davis over Joel Embiid, but you can see minutes played. Joel's at the very, very bottom, Bobby.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of going to be the theme here. I think Joel Embiid moving forward is more of a specialty player. I think if they get to play France in a medal round here, I think that's where he might be best used with Gobert and Wembanyama.
Yeah, I agree. But I do think I have one final thing. When you come in as an alternate, Derek White, which obviously is a glue player, right, for the Boston Celtics and a huge guy that was a big part of their championship success, you come in as an alternate, you look at those minutes, I think it said 16 on the board, but you don't have room for someone you have selected in Jayson Tatum. To me, the optics of that is very difficult to look at as well.
What does it mean for Team USA going forward? When you make a commitment and you're a star player like that, Jayson Tatum is the future of Team USA.
I agree
Steph Curry, LeBron, I don't know. Maybe LeBron plays in 28. I don't know. It's in L.A., whatever.
But to your point about alternates versus who was selected, I think that this is what Team USA has to contend with. Is he truly an alternate, or was he the best guy that fit a need? And when they looked around, they said, oh, my goodness, we have a lot of stars. We have an incredible wing talent, and we're going to see that on full display against South Sudan because that's where their strengths are as well. We're under 24 hours away from Team USA's next game. 10 days ago, Team USA, they got a big scare against South Sudan. Let's take a look back at how they kept it so very close. The countdown to the next time we see Team USA is on. This is where we start to see Team USA a little later in the third, finding their rhythm here, Bobby, going on an 8-0 run, as you can see the ticker on the bottom of your screen, splashing in another 3 from Devin Booker. Again, almost a turnover there, but Steph Curry, the three-point line's a foot shorter. He takes it from it.
Well, here's where you get separation, and we saw this in the Serbia game here when he made 18 threes. The ability to make threes separates where Team USA could be.
And they really struggled in shooting threes in this game. So to the fourth quarter here, to your point about threes, South Sudan didn't struggle. JT Thor, he hits the 3 in the quarter. So now South Sudan's up 1 with 20 seconds to go. And this is when LeBron James...
The cape comes out.
Yep. Dun, 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 dun. Continues to take over. LeBron getting to the rim to take the lead here for Team USA. But there's still a couple of seconds left to play here. Final chance for South Sudan. They get a couple of nice opportunities, but they can't quite get it to go.
Anthony Davis with like 3 blocks there.
With the win. Steph Curry, he spoke this morning ahead of tomorrow's rematch.
We have appropriate fear of everybody. Like, it's the exhibition schedule was great because you got to figure out where we need to get better and also feel the force of teams that are coming trying to beat us, no matter if it's a friendly or, you know, an Olympic game. We know we can't just sleepwalk through any game and feel like you're gonna win.
They came within one shot of beating us, so I'm really glad that we played them so we could feel, you know, their speed and their three-point shooting ability and feel how good they are. And I think we'll be much better prepared tomorrow, but doesn't guarantee anything. We got to go out and play.
So appropriate fear, that's a Popovich phrase that Steve Kerr uses often around the Warriors organization. But Chiney, how are they going to embody that appropriate fear in this rematch against South Sudan?
Look, I am looking forward to this because if you remember 10 days ago, South Sudan actually outshot the United States on threes in their exhibition game, which is quite remarkable for a team that is representing a country that currently has no indoor gyms.
Wow.
By the numbers, the U.S. shot 25% from deep, while South Sudan shot 42%. So here's what needs to change for Team USA tomorrow. First, it starts with their bigs, especially in drop coverage. Watch Joel Embiid. He's deep in the paint. His guy runs out, but instead, he's not able to close the gap and defend the three. So again, the bigs need to be able to switch and be on the perimeter. It's not just Joel Embiid, though. It's also Anthony Davis. Here, I guess the game plan was really to defend the lane, but instead you lose sight of a shooter, and those shooters knock it down. I expect Bam Adebayo, who's really great and versatile as a switcher, to get some minutes out there, especially defensively. But this time around, Team USA actually has a little bit of a cheat code. Their own sharpshooter, Team USA's all-time leading scorer, you know his name, Kevin Durant, who didn't play in the first matchup, but Katie led the team in scoring off the bench Sunday against Serbia, going 5 for 5 from three-point range. He will surely help with that three-point discrepancies. Kevin Durant is their ultimate cheat code, but they're going to have to defend the three and also knock down threes to have a better outcome from before.
Chiney, thank you. There were plenty of other games in the men's tournament, so let's hit them all with a little coast-to-coast. Or, since we're in France, should I say dans l'océan à l'autre?
You can say whatever you want.
I tried. I think I butchered that. Evidently, it means coast to coast in French. We're going to start with Giannis Antetokounmpo. He now has 2 of the 3 highest scoring games so far at the Olympics, but the Greek national team has nothing to show for it. They fell again, this time to Spain, 84-77. Bobby, you think Giannis is headed for another early exit here?
Oh, I think so, and I think Giannis said that after the game here, his displeasure as far as where this team is going. And you lose in the first round of the playoffs with him injured, and now you lose certainly in the Olympics here, and that sets up to. I think this is a motivational year for Giannis in Milwaukee. I think there's a major chip on his shoulder. Basically, everybody's counting them out.
Yeah.
And I think keep an eye on Milwaukee this year.
Oh, I like that. All right, sticking in this group of death. Canada moved to 2-0 this morning after knocking off Australia 93-83. Our neighbors to the north, they could clinch as the quarterfinals berth as soon as this afternoon. So, Ramona, do they look like the biggest competition for the United States so far for gold?
so far, I still want to go. I still want to keep Germany out there because they are the reigning world champions. But in terms of talent and firepower and the way that the Canada is playing right now, I think they look like a very dangerous team.
And they certainly have the NBA player talent as well. All right, last up, the game of the tournament so far.
Wow.
Japan was up 17.5-point underdogs. They were
ridiculous.
to France, and they were on the brink of their first Olympic win, Ramona, since 1972.
Oh my God, that foul call on the 3-point.
I know, a late 4-point play to force overtime. Wemby outscored Japan on his own in the extra period. France got the win. So Chiney, just a scare or something more here for the French?
It's a little bit something more because perimeter is going to be their issue. They need to get more perimeter, I guess you can say more efficient shooting, but also they have to defend because my guy, I think his name was Yuki, was straight up balling for Japan. But shout out to Victor Wembanyama for coming through in the clutch.
Petit peu scare, a little bit of a scare. Here are the updated
learning
group standings in men's basketball. I was trying to take classes, guys, it's fallen by the wayside. Remember this, though, the top 2 teams from each group, they advance to the quarterfinals along with the 2 best third-place teams. You got all that?
Okay.
All right. Any team that loses 2 games, they would essentially need a miracle to advance. But Greece is staying alive, staying alive. All right.